Hey guys, this lesson is going to be on solving multi-step equations. We've solved one step, we've solved two step, now we're going to solve multi-step. So all that time we spent on combining like terms and distributing is now going to start showing up in equations. So I'm going to do 6 examples. I want you to write them all down and make sure you call me over and ask if you have any questions. Here's the first one. So in order to get the variable by itself, first we have to get rid of these parentheses. So we're going to distribute the negative 4. Negative 4 times 6x is negative 24x. Negative 4 times negative 6 is plus 24. Here's the x. I need to get it by itself, so I'm going to move this 24 first. So by subtracting 24, these cancel out. Negative 96 and negative 24 is negative 120. Divide by negative 24. And x equals 5. And you can check it by saying 6 times 5 is 30. 30 minus 6 is 24. 24 times negative 4 is negative 96. I'm just going to check my math real quick. Yep, that's right. Okay. Moving on. Next example. X plus 6 times 1 plus 7x equals 307. Now, you know that Aunt Sally says to do parentheses first. So I am going to distribute that 6 through the parentheses, but I want to bring this x down because nothing's happening to it. It's not being multiplied by anything. So since I have to do all multiplication and division first, I'm going to rewrite the x down here. And then I'm going to say positive 6 times positive 1 is positive 6. Positive 6 times positive 7 is positive 42x. Now you have to think about the equation as having two sides. The equal sign splits it into a left-hand side and a right-hand side. On either side, we only want to have one variable and one constant. So as you can see here, we have an x and a 42x. That's two separate terms with variables in it. We want to combine those. And since we're just on one side of the equal sign, it's not like we have to do the opposite, because you only do the opposite when you're trying to move something from one side of the equal sign to the other. When you're staying on the left-hand side, you just add. X plus 42x is 43x. Bring down the plus 6 equals 307. Now it's a two-step equation like we've been solving for weeks. So minus 6 from both sides. 43x equals 301. Divide by 43, and x equals 7. And again, you can always check it by plugging in 7 for x right there. Next one, 3x plus 8 times x plus 4 equals 87. Again, I'm not multiplying the 3x by anything, so I'm just going to bring that down. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 4 is 32. Think about your equal sign as cutting the equation into two separate sides. So since these are on the same side, I'm just going to add them together. Minus 32. Those cancel out. 87 minus 32 is 55. Divide by 11. And x equals 5. Try this one by yourselves. Oops, might help if I write the problem down right. Negative 119 equals 3x minus 5 times negative 2 minus 8x. Pause the video and try to solve this one by yourselves. This one's a little bit harder because the variables are on the right-hand side, but it's the same thing. You solve it the same way. This 3x isn't being multiplied, so we bring it down. this negative 5 is being multiplied. So notice I'm not going to write a sign here until I figure out what the sign of my next term is going to be. Negative 5 times negative 2 is plus 10. Negative 5 times negative 8x is plus 40x. So split my equation again. The negative 119 is still on the left, but on the right I have a positive 3x and a positive 40x, which gives me a positive 43x. Now I'm going to try to get the variable by itself, so I'm going to minus 10 from both sides. So I have negative 129 equals 43x. Now type that in your calculator, make sure I'm right. Negative 119 plus negative 10, or negative 119 minus 10. You should get negative 129. And when I divide that by 43, I get negative 3. Okay, two more. 197 equals 5 times 1 plus 5x minus 8. Try this one by yourselves, pause it. Bring down the 197, nothing's happening. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 5x is plus 25x minus 8. Split the equation. 197's over here. On this side I have a 5 and a negative 8. Remember, that negative sign goes with the 8. So a 5 and a negative 8 is negative 3. In order to get x by itself, I need to add 3. So that gives me 200 equals 25x. Divide by 25. And x equals 200 divided by 25 should be 8. So x equals 8. Last one. Negative 3x plus 2 times 8x plus 6 equals 103. Okay, bring down the negative 3x. 2 times 8x is plus 16x. 2 times 6 is plus 12. Split up your equation. Negative 3x and 16x is 13x. Minus 12 from both sides. 103 minus 12 is 91. Divide by 13. X equals 7. So I'm going to give you a worksheet to practice these, and I'll tell you what the homework is. Okay?